Money over my head stone. Here lies him getting paid for. Never take a loss on my head stone. Only take a when I'm dead. I be gang 3 times on my head stone.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Dallas Cowboys and the Minnesota Vikings. That's fielded in the end zone. And a good effort on the return there gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
On 2nd down, Cook. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. And they'll look to avoid an early 3-and-out here on 3rd and 4. From the gun, Winston. Over the middle, it's complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Now a second down throw for Winston. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. His first catch, good for 9 in the first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A first down throw for Winston. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. From the shotgun, it's Winston. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. It's been a 7-play opening drive, and this is 3rd and short. To the air again with Winston. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. He hops over him.
That's why you stretch.
And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. That one's good for 35 yards on the ground and a 1st down. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. First down, Prescott. Drops it underneath to Elliott. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now a first carry for their fullback, and he'll be taken down at the 34. The tackle made there by Linval Joseph.
Well, big man with ball met bigger man on the other side of the line. A really nice play for the defense.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Now Prescott. And that is incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And that will tie us at 3-3. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
And the Vikings now heading on to the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
They start the drive with Cook. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Second down, Winston. And Winston lost the football. And the offense will cover this one up, but they'll be pushed back inside their own 10.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
3rd and long for Winston. It's complete to Diggs. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Here's Austin. A field position changer there. 49 yards on the punt. Couple that with a loss on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. He's going to walk one deep left side here. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Cowboys. Dylan Cantrell, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cowboys are able to show off their quick strike ability. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And now out comes Minnesota. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Let's go now. Green, trouble C. Green, trouble C. Sonic.
Now Jameis on second down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And we are even at 10 apiece. So we're right back where we started. All even as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. There have been points on the board. We just saw back-to-back touchdown drives. I love it. I'm high-fiving our statistician, Christian McLeod, and you're angry. You're a defensive guy.
If you met one of my defensive coordinators, God rest his soul, I'm surprised he isn't in this booth right now wanting to really take you on. This is not football the way he sees it. He wants a good old-fashioned kicking game, defense, field position, and we're getting an up and down the field game here.
I'll take him. Where's his tombstone?
Boot Hill, baby.
A second down throw for Prescott. A dump off to Elliott. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to lead to a third down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So on fourth down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown. Now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
They pitch it out to Cook. And he's going to be taken down here at about the 10. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. More from Minneapolis after this. Jameis to throw it. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 14. And they'll have a short field to work with inside the 15 at the 13-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Second down, Prescott. And that one's going to be over everybody in the back of the end zone. It's incomplete.
It's been my observation. There's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
46.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. That's complete right around the 8. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Bailey able to knock it through. And they will take the lead at 13-10. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. They'll run it now out of the gun. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Here's Winston. Going deep for Diggs. Incomplete. Both players were there offensively and defensively, but it falls incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Now Austin. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. A first update now from Cincinnati. And the Bengals out to the early advantage. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. Prescott looks to throw on first. And a big loss here as he's taken down. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Cowboys out on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter three. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. Only 3 there on the screen. It's second down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
The Cowboys on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 7. Prescott from the gun. Steps away to his left. He may try and run for this. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now here's Janis. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
They'll try and get the running game going with Elliott. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Again, it's Elliott. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. The Cowboys on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Fletcher. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. A gain of 13 and also a 1st down. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Ali. It's so close. He gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. That one goes for 24 yards.
Not too many teams will use a first-round pick on a tight end, so you know that when one does, he's got to be pretty darn special.
A small example of why they took him in the 1st round there. Nice little catch and run to get the good yardage. Prescott. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Dylan Cantrell, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. Bailey got the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And out now come the Vikings. And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people would think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback you got a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the 1st half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big 2nd half.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Sunday! Green, triple C!
1st down, Winston. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack.
And that's his 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. To throw is Winston. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. The pressure really ratcheting up. They get the sack on 1st down, then a near sack. They got to him there just as it was leaving his hand.
Yeah, they might need to change their pass protection scheme a little bit. Maybe bring another guy into the backfield to help protect the quarterback, because that was awfully close.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Throwing, Winston. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to fourth down. And Quigley now on to punt as he sends this one away. This is taken at the 23. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. A first down carry by Elliott. He'll get only a couple down to the 44.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
On second down, Elliott looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. The Cowboys on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Prescott now. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis as we are just about set to go here in quarter number 4. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on here to punt it away. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Again, this is Cook. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They run again on first down. Cook and able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Green, triple C.
Now a second down throw for Winston. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 40. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll lead here to a third down.
Let's go now.
And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. The Vikings on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4.
Hey, sub. Let's go. Hey, sub. Let's go.
From the gun, Winston. And this is going to be incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it, and this one winds up no good.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47.
Coming now.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bifema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Prescott now on 2nd down. Escaping the pressure right. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll get it out to midfield. Let's say, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Prescott now from the 50. Throw right side, taken in by Gallup. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field.
Green, triple C.
A first down throw for Winston. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Doing with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10. A second down throw for Winston. And Winston lost the football. And they got it very deep in enemy territory. It's inside the 5 at the 3-yard line, 1st and goal. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand, but put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
Prescott now after the fumble recovery. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Handoff comes to Cook. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this.
Hey, stop. Let's go. 4 down. Check. 4 down.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Let's go now. Green, triple T. Hey, stop. Let's go.
2nd down, Winston. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This time it's 3rd and 3. Now Winston. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. And they'll get 14 yards out of it and a fresh set of downs. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Jameis now on 1st down. Looking middle, and that's complete. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter. On 1st and 10, Winston. And Diggs has it. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Daniel Carlson now for the Viking field goal. And his kick is indeed good, and that will close the gap down to 14. So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick. But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
A different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say if I miss an extra point, that's the one that bothers me more.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter @EA Madden.